Hello, everyone. If you can just give us a few minutes, we're just getting everything ready. So, yeah, be a little bit patient. Oh, the stream still will be on. I'm just gonna remove myself. I'm helping over here. And you're back. We are back. Sorry for the wait, but we have to we had to do some stuff, get shit done. So, um, this is a very big topic, and I think with the news that came yesterday and the things that they've been piling up, uh, this discussion cannot be done alone. Um, One of our guests is going to be in the chat. Sadly, he cannot join us, but he's going to be discussing with us. Uh, and I say us because we have another guest. And as you can see on the title, Mr. Gerard Eady. How are
Hello,
ya?
hello, hello. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Hey, it actually has been a while.
It has. I've been very busy. College. You know yourself. I'm dying of stress over here, Manuel.
I can understand. College is a bitch sometimes. Um,
It is.
There's also work, but at least with work you can manage it because you know what to do the next day and everything. And in college, it's like professors can surprise test or surprise investigation you have to do or projects, some shit like that, and that bothers some.
Yeah, absolutely.
But hey, um, before we hit the topic, tell us what have you been doing lately besides university?
Um, just been doing the podcast. It's been groovy. We're talking about doing some stuff outside of just doing a podcast. We've a lot more access to good gear in college, so stuff like that. Um, yeah, we've also interviewed some bigger names recently, trying to get some more bigger ones. So life is good and it's groovy.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good.
How about you, Manuel? What you been up to?
Well, work. Um, Recently, I got into a minor car accident. I got hit, but because I was in the wrong lane, uh, the insurance won't cover. So it's like, even though I was not in the wrong, but because, technicalities.
Yeah, it's a pain in
And
the ass.
yeah. And so I was like, damn it. But, anyways, I think we're here to talk about something that not only affects Call of Duty, but it also affects the gaming industry in general. You know, this lawsuit is no joke. From what I've been researching, from what yesterday happened, uh, this is just messed up in a lot of ways. And COD creators have talked about it. A lot of content creators in video games have talked about it, and it's very disastrous to see a company. What is that?
That's my dog. Don't mind him.
Oh well. Um, I think he's working with Activision Blizzard because he's tapping.
Don't mind him. He's
All right,
kind of dumb.
that's all right. That's all right. But it's sad to see a developer that has grown over the years. You know, from being just World of Warcraft, simple games for the community, and responding to the community to actually grow up into a corporation and behave like this, especially towards women. It just says that power can make you do crazy stuff,
Yeah. You can
you
still hear
know?
me, right?
Yeah. So if you don't know about the lawsuit, if you've been living under the rock, let's make a quick recap, shall we, Gerard? So what have
um,
you have gathered from this lawsuit?
yeah, there was some lady, and she's working for Blizzard, and that some kind of corporate gig they had going on. She ended up killing herself. Um, it's not an awful thing to happen, but like it was something to do with the management. Like she filed reports against someone before, or she'd just been like harassed or something like that. And yeah, like look, the lads are known for being like, I don't know, what would you call them? Hmm. Sleaze balls, for the best way to say it. They've been known for being sleazy lads and not having good opinions on women, treating them like less. Um, yeah, they did some weird stuff in the office too. That's what I'm aware of anyway.
Yeah. We got our second guest that was gonna be with us, but he's gonna be on the chat. What's up, Titan? If you don't know Captain Titan, he does content on Warzone loadouts, from Modern Warfare weapons to even Cold War weapons. So you can check out his channel. He's awesome, and he's gonna be giving us his opinions through the chat. So, but
Groovy.
yeah, what I've been reading, I had to actually look it up for lawyers talking about this one. Um, it's this case was actually being forming in the early 2010s. Like 2008, 2009. There were some notes on this type of behavior in the company, and there was complaints in HR that they were going to the shredder instead of being listened to, especially women, like you mentioned. Uh, then it started growing more and more and more to the point that in 2018, because of the amount of cases that were presented towards the state of California, the state of California itself issued this lawsuit, of this type of sexual harassment, and I don't know how to call it, this type of behavior, but they call it frat type, like a fraternity,
Yeah.
because it mostly resembles that, but I think it resembles something worse that they cannot say out in public, you know, in order to not be somewhat ill constrictive. But I don't know. And the fact that many people think that it's just, Activision. No, it's the company that has been sued is Blizzard. It's just that it's owned by Activision. So it's like I own the Awfully Irish podcast, and let's say Thomas does something regrettable, you know, and if I know about it because I own the Awfully Irish podcast, it's like, oh, I know it, but I keep it under wraps. I don't tell my uh, anything of the public, not even the investors. But when it comes out to light, the blame is not only on you, also Gerard. It's also on me, on you, and I didn't do anything to correct it. So that's where the the investors, when they actually know about this and they start to ask Bobby Kotick about, hey, what's going on with the division Blizzard? You know, the Blizzard division on this on the case. Why didn't you tell us? Our investments. So they start. So the SEC, join in on the case in order to find if the information that Bobby Kotick withheld about this case actually affect the investors' money and stocks. And we got a whole lot of federal and state lawsuits against not only Blizzard but also Activision. And I think we got Titan's opinion on it. So my take is that I'm glad that the state won the lawsuit. Activision play. Oh, yep. That's 18 million. Yeah, that's the news that we're going to talk about later on. The $18 million settlement. In your opinion, Gerard, do you think that this lawsuit, as how to put it, this lawsuit affects video game industries in general, not only COD?
Um, I mean, definitely COD, but maybe there's, I don't know, there's definitely pressure, but maybe not the backing behind keeping an eye on these guys, taking these reports seriously. Um, yeah, I don't really know, but I know for that company specifically, they're in hot water and they want to be fixing their PR. It doesn't help that they had just cut um, one of their voice actors and like calling him a misogynist, and then and it ended up having this being done within their company. Um, so tables turned on
Yeah,
that one.
Jeff, Jeff
Yeah,
Leach
voice actor
caught on
for
that.
Ghost.
Yeah, I mean, for their perspective of Call of Duty, you can see it on the trailer of Vanguard, and the campaign. Instead of Activision Presents, like in all of its past trailers, it says Call of Duty Presents. You're starting to see that they're removing the Activision logo as the publisher. Uh, Even in some of the transactions and everything of posters, it's starting to be affected in that regard. The other thing that I'm concerned about it's more so the development of not only the Call of Duty that's coming, Vanguard, but on the future. Uh, how do you now approach developers to actually um, trust trust you as a company to help you, organize stuff and
Money. Like if you feel like they're gonna have a
money.
shortage of guys lining up at the door, no way. Money, 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 money. I mean, man,
Yeah,
there's
well,
plenty of
and
guys doing like development or whatever or game design over here that would fucking I don't know they fight their sister and their cousin to get in.
yeah. Um, Here we got Titan. Also, the whole thing with Jet Leach wasn't actual since they're yes, but
Well, if
here's the
that's the
thing with
case, it was conveniently timed,
yeah,
and I don't think Jeff would
because
agree.
and not only that, it's the thing that well, like Jeff said, weeks prior to the accusations, he was fired from Activision, Infinity Ward. Uh, and then this troll, uh, this streamer just comes in, starts uh, pushing Jeff's buttons, and starts to blame him about things that he doesn't do. And then just Activision
Yeah,
Infinity Ward is like, oh, we fire him. But like he said, they fired me weeks ago before this shit. So
she really went out of her way to kind of harass that guy. So
yeah,
not a fan.
and I think no one is a fan of that kind of behavior. Of accusing you of something you aren't, and like Tannen's saying right now, scapegoat and misconduct, misogyny, it's scummy. I think it's worse than scummy. It's just I don't know, asshole behavior.
Yeah,
It's really
not
not
something you want to see from like your favorite publisher.
exactly. I mean, we all know that EA is are scumbags, because money, loot boxes, and the way that they're handling their cases worldwide about that, trying to sell it as surprise mechanics. But Activision is in their own dipshit now because of this, of knowing that Blizzard did sexual harassment and frat behavior on their employees, especially women. And that's right now, especially right now. How hot are things on women rights and feminism and all that?
I think they're always hot because like that could be interpreted wrong. Yeah, feminists are always hot. Hmm. No, it's always a hot topic. There's always something going on there. You know yourself. So It's not
Yeah.
like it's a new thing. Like I think it got really serious 10 years ago. But yeah,
Yeah, it's so sad. And what the news came out about the settlement, speaking of it, uh, the settlement yesterday about 18 million towards everyone that was affected by this. I think for a company that, what, 13 billion with a B, earns 13 billion almost, or 1 billion, but in the billions, that's nothing. And for a lot of people that were on like 18 million, that's nothing. What are you gonna get? 18,000 to each, or even less sometimes. 18 million for Activision is, but yes, 18 million is, it's nothing. It's nothing, Captain. But like, I think for us regular folks, when we earn a million, it's a lot of money. But for them, it's like, I don't know, a hair from a cat.
I know guys who would retire on a million. Guys who are 20 who would retire on a million.
That's nothing. You're not gonna last. It's not
And depends
like
where you're from. €1 million is a lot more than $1 million.
well, duh. Just for if I'm not mistaken, a euro costs $1.50.
It's about 12 cent more. So if you're
Around
like
so.
1.12 million, so
Yeah, so it's not a lot, but still, I don't know.
it's enough for some
It's,
people.
it's cheap ass.
You're saying a million isn't that much?
No, not in today's economy, man.
In this
Because
economy,
yes, in this economy, it's not much. Because how much does? Because imagine you get a million and you want a Ferrari or you want a car. That's like 500,000 or even more, or you're a million to spend right with that. That's it.
or you could buy like a meh okay car for like a couple $100. um, what else? I don't know. You can buy like a shitty apartment, like a shitty place. Lower your standard of living. Fucking
Yeah.
live cheap, budget. People
Well,
survive on like 500 quid a month, so sure they could last.
it depends if they don't get the crazy spending type. You know.
Oh yeah, like if you give me a million, I'd burn that. It could be gone.
Yeah. He actually makes a good point. You can find hundreds of millions,
Yeah.
but here's the thing, and I think we can all agree on this, is that with this settlement that happened yesterday with the victims and everything, the fact that instead of going to court to actually prove all this, and to actually make a change, this is more so as a token, you know. Oh, all right,
What you
Captain.
mean? Like,
Think,
what means that it's more like a
um,
token?
oh, shit. If because this is not gonna create amount of change. It's like, okay, we remove some people that were in that photo, you know, in that Bill Cosby photo that they took, and then they just replace it with other people, you know, and say, oh, we made some change. Hey, we gave some money to the victims that were effective. We change, you know, try to show it to the public. When new people are going in, and there's no rules for behavior to stop this type of behavior, or HR, even though it's a different person, it still manages the same. because it's protecting the company and not the employee. So it's almost like uh, I don't know. Right now, I feel it like a token change rather than
Yeah.
a cultural change from within. You know.
So, well, you're not going to change anything from like a video game place getting in trouble. But what do you think? How do you think it affects Activision as a whole now? Do you think they're going to be stricter? Do you think like the games are going to be affected because there's new people behind them? Blah blah blah. Okay, you're frozen on my screen. I hope I didn't freeze.
Um,
There we go.
I
I'm back.
think it's more so. I think it's more so the fact of not only Activision becomes stricter, but it's how to put it this way. If Activision has done this, change personnel, give money. What I think it's going to be is that it's not only going to be a little bit stricter, like on the surface, but more so with other publishers. Uh, Not only EA gonna see this and gonna take notes. Uh, you're gonna see companies going for it's like, oh, we have this type of behavior, so just change personnel and then give them some money and that's it, and say that we have changed. When in reality you haven't, because some of the rules over there are still the same and HR still behaves somewhat the same. It's just more so that they're going to notice, uh, they're going to try to keep it on the wraps to not let it go public, because if it's gone public, then it's going to affect their business as well as the investors.
Mm. Sorry, I'm dying over here.
No, it's all
My
right.
hay fever terrible, and there's so many flowers in my cottage.
Shouldn't you gotta go for mental health? We pray mental health. You gotta check your brain. But yeah, I think
Gotta take care of
it's
yourself.
gonna be like, yeah, I think it's gonna be like that. That they're gonna every publisher's gonna take notes and they're gonna try to behave like this, and real change won't come until the ones on the top are different. You know, like our generation on top, but until then, until we can see it, the question here comes now: what type of games are going to be green lighted, and which ones aren't?
I don't know. No, I think it's gonna be roughly the same. I guess games get like progressive fairly slow. Like they're probably the slowest thing that get turned progressive. Like GTA existed like through a lot of social stuff. I'm sure they'll
Yeah,
stay basically the same, but I don't know, you might see a slight difference because more guys are or new staff have come in now. So
I think with the thing that I'm worried about is making Call of Duty this um Gerard, you there?
yep. Sorry, dogs misbehaving.
It's all right. It's all right. Um, what I'm worried about, it's more so, first person shooters. Instead of, like Call of Duty, Battlefield, instead of being what they are, you know, they're bloody, they're realistic. It's military action, like war type. It's like don't don't pull the punches. It's like we understand you want, you know, more representation of other things, but and that way you don't have to pull punches. You just, you know, you got to punch if you want. You can add the kicks,
Yeah,
you know, to make it more gruesome, more realistic. Uh,
yeah. I mean, like you'll never see anything like no Russian ever again. Um, like you can't really like get too progressive with warfare. Like it's one of those things that doesn't work. I think that's why I think they do as well as they do.
yeah, I mean, Modern Warfare 2019. I liked the campaign. They didn't pull any punches. Uh, but in regards with Cold War, they had missed opportunities and they pull some of the punches. With Vanguard, I'm not sure where it's going. It I actually talked it in the stream that it was a play like it's going to be like a Michael Bay movie, you know, of inclusion.
You you keep that thought going. I just need to deal with this little pooch for a second.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So it's going back to it. Just let me have a drink. Oh man. Oh, I got a notification over here. Ah, yeah, but going back to it, I actually feel that in Vanguard it's going to be like an inclusion Michael Bay playable movie. From what I've seen, not only on the mission where you play as a Russian female sniper, but more so on the multiplayer side. It just seems like the operators that you're gonna choose seem like that instead of, you know, what you typically saw at the time. You know, I feel that they're pulling some punches there, especially with that thing of, oh, there's not going to be factions. There's going to be my team versus your team, and that's, I think everybody has said that's a big no no. This same uh, this same Fortnite, to put it like that. The same Fortnite to say my team versus your team, or like Apex Legends. You know,
I missed the first part of that.
oh, that in Vanguard it seems like it's going to be in the campaign like an inclusion Michael Bay playable movie because of all the explosions that they're putting on the campaign trailer. And in front and center, if you look at the poster of COD Vanguard, who do you see the most? You see the black British guy and the Russian female sniper, and on the very far end, you see a white Australian guy. So it's almost like we're being inclusive. It's like, you could have just put a regular ass soldier there. That would be,
Yeah, because at the time, I guess that's what not exactly who was fighting. Um,
yeah.
yeah.
I think that of not putting multiplayer teams, you know, factions. It's just my team versus your team. That's another thing that I saw during the beta.
Mm. I didn't play the beta. Haven't played anything in a while.
No, it's. I think I'm just gonna rent the game or play it in another on an Xbox in the friends of Xbox because mine doesn't have space. I'm trying to save for the Series X. Uh, but dude, the sound, the gun sounds are the same as Advanced Warfare.
It's kind of lazy.
I know. If you actually and that was one of the things that I have actually talked about is that the gun sounds from World War II are exactly the same as Advanced Warfare because you know each gun has its own sound.
Maybe it's because it's like a early access kind of thing. Maybe they'll fix it.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so because that STG 44 didn't have the spring. You know, it sounded so normal. But anyways, how do you see the future of video games with this type of behavior being more targeted?
No, I feel like I said earlier, just there'll be more scrutiny on it. People keep an eye on it. I guess women will feel like they can talk about it more, and hopefully it just moves on and everything is groovy. Because you hate to see what's transpired, and yeah, it's kind of it.
Well,
And then like when it comes to changing video games, that'll be more on the end of they've hired new people. So I don't know. I don't know if is it too early for Overwatch 2 to be affected. Stuff like that.
yeah, I think down the line we're gonna see the effects of it. More so prominent than in this year or in the early stages of next year. I think more so May, June of next year. I think we're gonna see uh, if companies are coming forward, change in behavior or news that they're changing instead of actual change. Um, Another thing that actually worries me is that okay, it's now been targeted. This type of behavior. How how's it going to be? The relationships between coworker and coworker because if something you accidentally said something that offends uh, your coworker, regardless if it's a man or a girl.
But it's hard to know. You look at everything case by case. Like you're hardly gonna go say someone looks like your jacket looks lovely today. Your hair is looking amazing, and then like that's very different to the sexual harassment that was going on over at Blizzard. So who knows? Who knows what happens?
Yeah, I mean, I can say, hey, you look handsome today, and then you say, I'm offended by that.
If you're offended by getting compliments, I can't help you. If you're offended by compliments, I admire that.
but that's let's be honest, that's stupid because people recognize when other people they look cut, they look fit,
Yeah,
handsome, pretty, gorgeous, whatever. It's a compliment. I think what actually it has been losing its courtesy and respect is in the tone that we're saying it. Because one of the things that I've been seeing around social media, and I think this is where this type of behavior affects in workplaces, is the fact that they're saying it more so on a flirty, trying to get in your pants kind of stuff, you know, and it's almost like you're saying to the people, yes, acceptable to say it like this, but I think they forget that it's more so they're doing this because of content instead of what it's actually, you know, authorized in your workspace. It's like if Thomas comes, I don't know, shirtless to the radio station, and it's like, oh man, I'm so fit, and you're like, dude, for decency and courtesy, please put a shirt on.
yeah. I Would you believe, Manuel? I've had to do that twice now, but I told you that in confidence. So
I mean,
that's such a weird example. But I get what you're saying.
yeah. So it's like in workspace, okay, I understand you want to express yourself. If we go into, no suits and everything, but there's a certain limit. Okay, you want to wear a short skirt or you want to wear no shirt, okay, but there's a certain place and time for that.
Yep. And if you say otherwise, you just want to push boundaries and being annoying.
Yeah, yeah. You're not in a Hooters celebrating. I don't know if you have Hooters over there in Ireland.
No, no, I wish we did. Hooters and IHOP, I wish we had those.
I hope Shauna doesn't listen about the Hooters.
Yeah, I think
I,
she'd find it funny.
hey, well, even though Hooters is majorly waitresses, there's female waitresses. Funny thing was that a friend of mine, Matt, that is in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, uh, he actually went to a Hooters one time and he found two guys, and the type of shirt that they're wearing, it's almost like all stick, you know, like it marks all your body, and the shorts almost like uh, a male pole dancer, and I was like, uh, well, okay, they're trying to appeal women.
Maybe that's what they do. The further north they go, they try to build women. You have to get them right in the middle, Manuel.
Yeah. No, no. I'm
You have to
not
catch them
going.
in Oklahoma. That's what's really happening.
No, man. I prefer to stay to go to Texas, stay stay near the ranch and the gun range.
Dude, Texas is so many times bigger than Ireland. It's actually terrifying.
I
Because when I
know
think of Texas, I think of just, oh, it's a small part of a big country. It's fucking huge.
it
Like
is.
we're
It
like
is.
barely bigger than Hawaii.
There was an image that somebody gave us in class when I was in Houston, the state of Texas, and they put it over Europe. It's almost the entire European continent, and it's no joke.
Let me take a peek. I think I've seen some of that before.
It's like it takes 3 to 4 hours from no, it takes around 2 to 3 hours from Houston to Dallas, and that same amount of time I have come 3 times from Berlin to Paris.
Um, if you were to slap it in the middle of Europe, you would cover Germany, the Czech Republic, Austria, uh, Switzerland, France, Belgium, the Netherlands. I think I said Denmark already. Slovenia and the top part of Italy. It's fucking massive. And if you put that over UK and Ireland, they disappear.
Yeah,
That's massive. Yeah. Well, like that top bit of Texas that looks like a pipe,
yeah.
like a chimney. You could fit Ireland inside of that.
Wow,
So
northern East Texas.
massive, massive.
Yeah. Well, speaking about Texas, there's some new indie developers working over there in California that came from California because of free tax income. No, no, not free tax income. No state in tax income. It's very low in some places. In some places, there's none. So that's another reason. And if you look at it over there, it's what it is south from the central point of Texas, south and part of the east, excluding Houston and Galveston, it's deeply religious. So, and very gruesome when it comes to war things and gun, you know. So in that part, this indie developers that they're hiring new personnel for first person shooters, I can see it. But for other types of games that you want inclusion, yeah, no.
Yeah, The Last of Us 2 won't be, or Last of Us 3 won't be made in Texas.
Oh man, part two. God damn it.
Did you see the first leaked image, or not leaked image, just published image of The Last of Us TV series on set?
Yes, I saw the image. The
It's
back.
pretty cool.
It looks
Pretty cool.
cool. My only question is, are they going to change it so that it adjusts this to the second game of The Last of Us? Cause
I hope they never fucking do.
me too, man. They
That would
they
be
warned it.
heartbreaking. But even with that, they could probably introduce like the lady who did the mocap for I forget what the character's name, but the one that ends up doing the deed to Joe. Um,
Uh,
a lady who mocap for her could actually play her. So it's interesting with the second game how many people mocap versus them making just a random character in the first game. So you can actually bring a lot of those characters back in person.
yeah, I was actually hoping there was who was it that they wanted it? They wanted, I think it was Pedro Pascal. They wanted it as Joel, but it
Yeah, he is
ended up
Joe.
being he is. There was
As far
another
as I'm
one
aware.
that they wanted in him to actually be in- instead of him, but I'm not sure. But oh, speaking about developers, the type that Neil Druckmann has of you know uh, all of the information that he had, of hey how to progress Joel, how to progress Ellie, this new story. He decided to just dump it away and try to create something that we all know and hate as the part two because hey man, that was not the character arcs we were waiting.
Yeah, it's not what I was looking forward to. Um, it happened. Happened anyway, and it came like a fart to the face.
I think even worse, like the shit hit the fan and it hit you. I
A
just
heartbreaking moment.
yeah, yeah, it broke. I
Yeah,
don't know.
genuinely though, like genuinely, you play the game so many times, or you develop such an attachment to the character, and they just outright did him dirty.
Everyone dirty. Like Ellie doesn't progress; she becomes stagnant. Uh, Even the new characters that are introduced, they don't progress at all. They don't change at all. For as much bad stuff that is happening over there, they don't change. That that actually tells me that they're trying to say something without showcasing it properly, and in the end of the day, it doesn't matter. They pull out Ryan Johnson because they say, "Oh, it's like we need to all be united for this shit," and then in the end of the day, you kill the other faction, through the new character.
Yeah. Oh, it sucks, man. It sucks.
I know.
But like it was an interesting story. Like Joel in our vision was like the hero. He's a great guy, but from their point of view, he was worse than Hitler. Like literally worse than Hitler. Because from their point of view, he killed the last guy who could make a cure. He dismantled the last government entity. He killed her father, and he ran off with the only person in the world who was immune. So
Yeah, but
worse than
later
Hitler.
on,
Like
yeah,
billions died. because of
Yeah,
Joe.
but it the thing that they put in, and I think that was it was more so like I think almost like a token thing to actually put in that you find out and late in the game is that the Fireflies actually have done this in the past with the immunes, but never they could never develop the cure. They didn't know how or why they were immune. So many people before Ellie died in that table operation, so they were useless.
Fair enough. I haven't dug deep into it in a while, but that's the story I've been going whenever it comes up. It comes up fairly often.
I
But
can
anyway,
imagine.
Manuel, I got a groovy on because I got to get ready for getting up early in the morning,
Yeah,
getting a
yeah.
bus, and going to
Any final
college.
thoughts you have on all this? You know that you hope that to see near or in the well,
Yeah,
not far future, but medium future.
medium future. Glad Blizzard did something. Looking forward to whatever they do next, be it Overwatch 2 or whatever else they come up with. But uh, a lot of the heat was on Activision, but it's kind of like Disney owns Marvel. If Marvel says something bad, is it on Disney? Um, maybe if they're heavily involved, but I think it was a looser thing with Activision. But hopefully it doesn't happen anymore. Gets fixed. Everyone's happy. Christmas comes early, and the Pope turns Protestant. So we'll see what happens. Bar
Yeah,
that
man.
last one.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here and on the stream. It's something that I think many of us are going to talk. Uh, not only this week, but so on forth. How's it going to feel and everything? Not only through COD, but through other games that Activision
Yeah.
owns. Especially even though Overwatch 2 is coming, but what is going to happen with the service in World of Warcraft? And I think they own League of Legends also. So
Wait, do they own that?
I'm not sure, but World of Warcraft is their bread and butter. The refund World of Warcraft 3, the shitty game. Diablo 2 is also coming, so anyways,
Fair enough.
thank you for being here, and uh, we'll catch everyone on the Awfully Irish podcast. So when is your next interview?
It was supposed to come out today, and I'm practicing for sorting out my car, so I didn't get to it. But tomorrow it's coming out. It'll be all cool. It'll all be dandy. We'll all live happy lives and live happily ever after. Once this video comes out, it's with Logan. Is this actually? I think it's Stroley. Logan Stroley.
Uh-huh.
He's a Bellator fighter. And
Oh.
he actually didn't go to the UFC on purpose so he could go to Bellator because he would make more money there. But when he's made his money and he's happy to move on to the UFC, they're waiting for him basically. Like they'll have him. So
Oh.
interesting to see when he actually finally enters the UFC. Like he's done 13 fights,
Mm-hmm.
12 wins, one loss. And he lost
Nice.
against the current champion of Bellator, who was something like
Oh.
28-0. So he hasn't lost 28 fights. That's like the same as Khabib.
It's gonna be interesting to see him fight against Usman.
He's trained with Usman before. Um, we used to be in the same gym as Usman, but Usman moved on because he became like an elite level fighter and had to get more attention. Current at the moment, actually, funny enough, it just came out. Usman's the number one pound for pound fighter on the planet.
I can imagine.
He's a tough motherfucker.
He's yeah. I mean, we have seen the fights, so
Yeah, we'll watch against him anyways. But thanks a million for having me, Manuel.
yeah. Take care. Please go to the Awfully Irish podcast. Uh, you can type over there or Ger send me, Manuel send me. Thomas needs salad. Sorry for that. Ah, bad comment. Bad comment. um,
All right. Thanks for having me,
uh,
Manuel.
see you, and we'll see you in the channel. Friday, 2 p.m. Central, because we got another topic to discuss. Bye.